It's weird. Welcome to post-marriage reviews. Kind of weird. Kind of weird having this. Well, technically, this is filmed a couple weeks before the wedding, but I've just been very busy getting shit done around here. So we're going to talk about the latest Alien book. Yeah, I skipped from Prototype to this simply because this came out at the end of July. I thought it was going to be a tie-in to Romulus. It was not. But it was surprisingly a completely different thing, and I'm all for that. This is Alien Uncivil War by Brendan Deneen. Never read a single book by Brendan Deneen. He's written for Titan Books before, doing some Marvel stuff for them. But anyway, Uncivil War takes place not long after Resurrection, which is weird. This is one of only a couple Resurrection tie-ins. I think this is the second one I can think of. The other one, well, there's a comic book adaptation of the movie as well as a novelization by A.C. Crispin. The only other thing that I can think of that references Resurrection would be... I think it would be... It was Alien vs. Predator vs. Terminator. That horrible mashup comic. And, oh boy, we got a sickly boy here. Mr. got allergies, so he sneezes everywhere. We got our orange cat for an Alien review. Our little Jonesy. That's Jack, though. It's Jack. He a good boy. He a good boy. Anyway, Alien Uncivil War is about a former United Systems military colonel named Chris Temple who's trying to get his daughters off of Earth. They get on a ship that has xenomorphs on it. They end up crash landing on a planet that's a idealistic utopia of like a mining colony, but not all is what it seems. And there is a cult of Weyland-Yutani. So, if you don't know, Alien Resurrection, there is no Weyland-Yutani anymore. They were bought by Walmart, which sadly, that little fact is not referenced in this book. Though other things are referenced, like the whole climax of Resurrection, that sort of thing, is referenced briefly in this. But if you blink, you'll miss it. Because I don't think a lot of people really get that this is a tie-in to Resurrection. Well, it's not really. It just takes place in that part of the timeline. So most Alien books at this point take place between Alien and Aliens, including the movie Alien Romulus, which we discussed last week. Which, you know, I expected this to be a Romulus tie-in. Much like Alien Covenant Origins by Alan Dean Foster, that horrible thing. But it's not. In fact, this is a great family drama. Chris Temple's trying to do what's best for his kids as a single father. His wife's died. And the android, which became the girl's surrogate mother, is gone since the ship crashed. They crash on a planet. The woman that's kind of in charge has kind of got the hots for Chris. He doesn't know what to make of it. Because it's been a long time since he's been with anyone. Well, since his wife passed. So, there's a lot of emotions going on. Meanwhile, there's all sorts of weird things going on in this idealistic mining colony. And of course, there are xenomorphs running around. Which there, honestly, not a lot of xenomorph action in this. It's very front-heavy in the first chapter. Then we go... It takes till like 3/4 of the book for the Xenos to start doing anything. And by then, there's all sorts of interpersonal drama that, honestly, the Xenos feel tacked on. But that's okay. This book's just really good. Like, for being an alien book that doesn't have a lot of aliens, unlike Covenant Origins, it works because Brendan Deneen actually knew what he was talking about and like knew how to write characters that weren't just idealistic nonsense that I'm used to with alien books at this point. It's kind of sad that we have to talk about like politics and author politics anytime we bring up an alien book, but it really shows in most of these. But this, if it was there, I didn't notice it. I'm serious. It was just that good. Some minor errors So there's a group of people that worship Weyland-Yutani. They're like a cult, basically, and the USM has been fighting this cult. And these people, they don't worship the corporation so much, they worship Peter Weyland and Yutani. But it is not the same Yutani that is in Alien Covenant Origins and is referenced in the Alien Covenant novelization. That was like, they're just two different people. So I don't know if that's an error on Titan Books' part, because Brendan Deneen, he talks in the afterword to this book that this was a labor of love. Initially, this was a pitch after reading William Gibson's Alien 3 that got converted into a comic, then an audio drama, then a novelization. And the author didn't like it. Didn't like that direction, so he wrote his own Alien 3 focusing on Ripley, Hicks, and Newt as a family unit crash landing on a planet. And I think he probably took stuff from another script with the man-made planet with the monks on it. Like, some of that stuff seems to have been in his version. He pitched it to Titan Books. They said absolutely not. But they came back to him and said, how about you write your own original Alien novel? And that's how Uncivil War came to be. And he wanted to tackle Resurrection because not a lot's there. And there's a lot he could do with it. And it's neat. And so I can forgive some of the continuity stuff with Yutani having a different first name, because this is so far removed from those people existing, and it's clear one character in this book has talks about finding this basically this Weyland-Yutani religion, for lack of a better term, and that it's a biography written about these two people, has a bias towards them and sugarcoats all their failings and how bad they were. So it's safe to assume that it was written so long after the company that they don't even have the right names anymore. I mean, Peter Weyland, that's easy because that's a literal character in the movie canon now. But, I think they call him Colin-Yutani in this book, which I've never heard of a Colin-Yutani outside of this book. And the other Yutani, because in Alan Dean Foster's book, the big thing is the Yutani Corporation, when Peter Weyland vanished, they did a hostile takeover. And so now it's Weyland-Yutani, which in Prometheus, I think it's just called Weyland. Even though, I get that the EVP movies aren't canon, but in 2003, it was Weyland-Yutani in that first movie. And heck, there's even a Yutani at the end of the second AVP movie. Spoilers to a movie that no one should ever watch. Yeah. That's not a lot more to say about this, because there's a big twist about halfway through this book that was genuinely, kind of saw it coming, but at the same time it still shocked me, so it's written well, and I don't want to spoil that for you. Honestly, I gotta give this a good 5 out of 5. This is well worth your time, and this is probably the best Alien novel that's been written since Titan Books got the IP. Highly recommend this one. So, anyway, have a nice day.